Moin und herzlich willkommen hier wieder bei theHobbyist in der Kategorie Gaming mit Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning auf New York. Ja, wie ihr seht, habe ich was neu gemacht. Ich habe jetzt die Kamera mal in die Mitte nach oben geschoben und mal ein bisschen geguckt, dass dann so die Charaktere sichtbar sind, dass links der Text sichtbar ist und rechts der Text, wenn gesprochene Sachen stehen. Das heißt, ihr könnt mal einen Daumen nach oben da lassen, wenn ihr das gut findet, oder einen Kommentar da lassen, wenn das scheiße ist. Ich finde, es sieht eigentlich gar nicht so schlecht aus, zumindest in meiner Übersicht hier. Und ja, gehen wir weiter in der Story von Reckoning of New York. Wir sind hier wieder auf unserer New York-Karte und wir haben eigentlich nur eine Auswahlmöglichkeit, nämlich diese hier. Wir sind immer noch Nacht Nummer 1. Ich weiß gar nicht mehr, was das hier war. Das war, glaube ich, Hunger. Wir scheinen ein bisschen Hunger zu haben. Ach wohl, ich weiß gar nicht, vielleicht sind das auch 100%. Also alles gut. Weil das ist auch so angeschnitten. Ich bin mir nicht mehr sicher. Das wird das Spiel schon auch sagen, ob wir irgendwie feeden müssen oder nicht. Es führt uns auf jeden Fall nach Queens. Up in the Air. Main Quest. I've bought myself some time to find Reynard and scram out of this city before the Camarilla catches on. The only trouble is Caitiff tick clinging to my back, which honestly is kinda my own fault. I need to figure out how to shake him off. Das heißt, sie ist nicht sehr glücklich darüber, dass der Caitiff sie jetzt verfolgen muss und beobachten muss. Schauen wir mal, was passiert. Achso, genau, muss gedrückt halten. We might not need air to nourish our vitae, but I still let out a sigh of relief when the doors to the Elysium slam shut behind us. Talk about a crew of entitled assholes holed up in their ivory tower, sneering at kindred just scraping by to make dead ends meet. I hope they get a nice sharp stake to the foot. But hey, it's all good. My golden words and silver tongue managed to buy me some time to find Reynard and get the hell out of Dodge before those clowns catch on that we have already hit the west coast. The only hiccup for now is Padrek. Ich weiß immer noch nicht, wie man das ausspricht. Ich glaube Padrek? Wahrscheinlich Patrick, oder? Aber halt auf, was ist das, Slawisch? Ich habe keine Ahnung. Keep making that face at me, and it might just kick that way. Quit staring for good, shut your eyes and trust me then. Oh yeah? Then maybe it's time to shut your eyes, pal, and let me navigate us to our destination. Just give it a 10 count before peeping. 10 count before peeping. I would rather we didn't. He paused mid-sentence. Actually, on second thought, that might just top the charts as the worst suggestion I've been privy to tonight. And believe me, it has some heavy competition. Don't worry, there's more to come. I haven't played my final card yet. Stay optimistic. A whirl around, his exasperated sigh chasing after me. Be what may, this caitiff tick's gotta go. Look, the sun is about to rise. We can pick up this little dance of ours again tomorrow night, okay? Let's get moving. My haven isn't even the part of this town. In this part of town. Hold up, what do you mean, your haven? Alright, hear me out. I get that this whole thing is a bit of a pain for the both of us, trust me. I have no more desire to mind you that you have to be minded. But let's rewind for a second. You were the one who picked me out at Elysium and got us both into this mess. If I let you out of my sight, things will get proper unpleasant for me. And believe me, I'm speaking from experience. But you will be torn to shreds by Kadir's hounds before you could say oops. They'll sniff you out, sooner rather than later. That is a stone-cold fact. So, How about we skip the theatrics and you take along to a place I know is safe? We can regroup and figure out our next move come nightfall. He stops mid-sentence. Fingers crossed for whatever the kindred version of a stroke. Maybe I could slip away and get to my RV. No, your RV is completely off the table. My RV is just fine. I've got plenty other options. Keep it zipped, Cative. The fuck's wrong with my RV? Valerie took her sweet time turning it inside out. Plus, the spot you chose for parking isn't exactly the epitome of safety, putting it mildly. It's a fortress on wheels, steel shutters and everything. It's kept me from turning into ash so far, hasn't it? Why does its parking spot suddenly matter? Believe me, these nights, location is everything. He stays silent for a moment, likely thinking he's gained the upper hand in our verbal spar. I think count it as my win. Nevertheless, he starts yapping again soon after. In any case, we need a place to rest, and my haven is the safest choice. I'd really hate to resort to violence, but I don't presume I won't drag you there if the need arises. It's your call. Every time I don't get a say in somehow turns out to be my call. Come on, what do you think I'll do? Run away? Obviously. Oh, ye of little faith. Would I try to bail on you on Christmas night? You sticking around might just count as a true holiday miracle. And no, I don't bank on holiday miracles. If you're under the impression I'll let you out of my sight, then you're not paying attention. Come, let's not dilly-dally. Dilly-dally? Did they embrace him in a Dickens novel? Talk about being charming. Alright, after you. Immer noch Queens? Stubborn as I am, it turns out Mr. Thin and Mean over there is just as immovable. Arguing seems futile. Time for a different approach. I toss him a thoughtful glance, noticing him leisurely fiddling with one of those ugly rings, adorning every conceivable part of his hands. What a jerk. My gang would eat him alive, but I can deal with him on my own just fine. All I need is a little bit of inspiration. After a quick look around, a couple of schemes start to take shape. That bouncer looks easy to fool. How about a magic trick? Let's play the hungry as hell card. Also als Spieler muss ich gerade sagen, abzuhauen ist eigentlich eine Scheißidee. Aber irgendwie habe ich gerade keine andere Wahl, das zu probieren. Also dann wäre der Magic Trick natürlich das Beste. Dann könnte der Hunger steigen. Aber ich habe noch keinen Hunger, von daher come on. Lifting his ring might be a bit ambitious when he's so wired. But I've got other tricks up my sleeve. I fish out a ring from my belt bag. A trinket I nicked off some sucker back on the Chicago. It's a piece of junk, really. No pawnshop would glance twice at it. But you never know when a useless thing might come in handy. I clear my throat awkwardly and evoke an appropriately embarrassed face. So, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry for getting snappy earlier. Rough night, you get it? Well, an apology isn't quite enough, but it's a start. Yeah, we got off the wrong foot, huh? Let's start again. Name's Carly. With that, I extend my hand. It hovers in the frigid air, waiting for a response. After a brief pause, he reached out and shakes it. Padre Conroy. I take this as my cue, clasping his hand warmly with both of mine, shake it with all the vigor I can muster. Nice to meet you, Patrick. Fancy seeing a magic trick? I beg your pardon? I flash him the ring with a nasty smile, watching as his face turns a shade paler. Before he has a chance to check his own fingers, I'll take a big swing. Want your precious ring back? Then fetch! I hurl the ring into the distance, listening as it clings off a wall. As the caitiff dashes off, I seize the moment and zoom away in the opposite direction, pushing my legs as fast as they'll go. I have no idea where I'm going, but solitude sounds perfect right now. Even after everything tonight, it looks like I'm on a roll. Must be that ravenous charm working on its magic. I instantly regret my choice at the moment I dash into an alleyway. The dodgy crew are handling crates that seem to be filled with combat gear snaps their attention towards me at the moment I make my entrance. And they've seen my inhuman speed. Shit. Caleb, look! Oh, come on. What did I ever do to you, Lady Luck, to jinx me like that? Squad! To your positions! They begin to circle me, exchanging nods. It's only then I notice their tactical gear and the unmistakable outline of wooden stakes. St. Hunter? Is this the infamous Special Affairs Division? Seriously, fuck my own life. Reynard was spot on. I'm always too quick to pop the champagne. Back off, would ya? This isn't going to end well for you. Shut, you filthy gob leech. He whips out a stake to compensate for his shaky tone. I'm not one for head-on combat, but it's way past the time for cunning. From the sides, now! They come at me all at once with an attack surprisingly uncoordinated for such a well-equipped team. That disarray is the only reason I may survive this. As a flash of heat surges through me, their movements seem to slow down. I grab the first one by the arm as he swings a knife at me, driving my nails into his armpit. Everything turns a shade of red I find disturbingly pleasant. Next, I leap and spin, taking the squeaky girl down with a kick that leaves her neck at a grotesque angle, her body crumpling to the ground. Their leader waves his stake in hesitation, searching for an opening. Bring it on, you undead whore! I don't give him the chance. In an instant, I'm at his throat, tearing and ripping. His blood washes over my skin like a hot shower. It feels comforting. As the chaos fades, there I am, perfectly unharmed, amid the carnage, swept up in the rush of victory. Tonight is definitely my night. But then, reality strikes. Quite literally. Knocked into my knees and suddenly dazed, I scramble to get up. I need to get out before the caitiff catches up. As I try to rise, a kick sends me sprawling. Another thug, one that I missed, sits on top of me, stake in hand, aimed straight at my heart. I react instantly, buckling my hips and reaching for his elbow, ready to tear and rip. But I can't. And I don't have to. Suddenly, hands encircle the thug's neck, twisting it in a complete circle. Reminiscent of some horror or movie owl. He drops beside me, lifeless, as the caitiff casually retrieves the stake. You have lost something. Piss off! I believe thank you is the phrase you're looking for. You should be glad I fetched the ring in record time. He extends his hand with grace, and there's a part of me itching to grab it, to pull at it and literally take him down a peg. But I let the moment pass. The brawl's worn me out, and the dawn's creeping up on us. I refuse his help, pushing myself up with a mix of pride and fatigue. Why don't you hold on to this stake? Consider it a memento of the time you nearly got taken out by a few hunters and needed my intervention. A slice of humble pie, if you will. I tuck the stake into my belt bag, feeling more awkward about it than I care to show. For the record, I had it under control. But wait, hunters? Of course, you didn't seriously think it was the SAD, did you? He lets out a chuckle. The first one I feared from him. It feels out of place, I think. Do not take it personally, but if it were the SAD you were up against, you'd have been taken out before you even realized it was a threat. They're too well organized, too professional. These guys, however... He swept his hand around, gesturing towards the fallen hunters. Well, they haven't quite mastered the element of surprise. Still running into that many in one place. I know Kadir mentioned something about a locust swarm back at Elysium, but shit, that's more than just bad luck. Indeed, New York is nowhere near as safe for our kind as it once was. This is not of your typical hunter behavior. It is an anomaly, and its source is still unknown. Until we figure it out, I strongly advise against sprinting like a demented cheetah, biting whatever within its arm's reach or showing off your unique powers. For your own safety, assume you're under constant surveillance. Choose your moments wisely. It's the second time I'm hearing this kind of warning tonight. Maybe I should actually start paying attention. And you might want to rethink your attempts to ditch me. I might not arrive in time to save you the next time you get in trouble. The next time? He seems to have me all figured out. Alright, maybe sticking with you might have some benefits. I'm hearing things. Or was that a compliment? Don't let it go to your head, and don't expect a repeat. Now about that haven of yours? Zwei Dinge zur Auswahl. Eins können wir noch machen, denke ich, bevor die Folge endet. Was haben wir? Wir haben einmal Patrick's Haven, where Kaitev lies low. Main quest. The sun's about to rise, and I've had more than enough for one night. All I need to sink into the deep, dark void of rest. And tonight, Patrick's Haven is the place to be. Stranger in the night. Detour. In New York City, you never know when you'll bump into the king of all douchebags. But honestly, it feels like it happens every goddamn time you step foot outside. Tja, machen wir eine Detour oder nicht? Die letzten Detouren waren scheiße. Ja, die lasse ich aus. Main quest. The walk feels endlessly long. I try to focus on the task of locating Reynard, but my thoughts just won't line up right. Definitely not a promising end to the night. Before I know it, we're already there. This is our stop. Let's head inside. Dawn is nearly upon us. He steps through the door, but first leaves it open for me. I see it as a slight sign of trust, or maybe I'm just too exhausted to be on the lookout for tricks. Home sweet home. Picking into a kindred's haven is kind of like trying to read their diary. Assuming they have one, of course. Our van, which I share with my crew, might tell a story of covert operations, daring escapes, and tight-knit camaraderie. For those with a flair of drama, that's it. That is. To anyone else, it could just seem like a mobile hideout for a few smugglers. Granted, I haven't actually been a guest in many havens, but this one? It's practically shouting its love affair with books and a certain, let's say, relaxed approach to tidiness. And that Patrick probably didn't expect to have company, like, ever. Every inch of it is covered in books, papers, and random notes, a wild mosaic of ideas from the mundane to the outright unhinged. I swear there are even scribbles on napkins in the mix. Patrick seems a bit little bit flustered that I caught his heaven in such a disarray. He rushed to clean up, picking up an armful of paper along the way. Make yourself home. The couch is all yours. At least the window is all still open, have been secured with steel shutters. All in all, the place feels rather cozy. A pretty decent haven, I think. Just a tad too lonely for my tastes. What's with the paper explosion? Do you fancy yourself a writer or something? Nope. Clearly he does. The stack of papers he's clutching is kept under wraps and impossible to read, but the ones littering the rest of the space, they're up for grabs. I stretch my neck and get a closer look, ditching any attempt to be sneaky. I wanted to find some disjointed snippets about history, voices, oracles, and the like. I shoot him a disappointed frown, only to be met with his painfully blank gaze. Clearly someone's got their poker face down, Pat. A history buff. Don't take this the wrong way, but you totally give off that vibe. Why would I take it the wrong way? I give a casual shrug, and he offers a smile in return. It's not exactly brimming with joy, but hey, I take what I can get. Get some rest. We've got a busy night ahead of us. It's hard to put up a fight against common sense, especially when you're running on empty. I give him a vague wave, settle onto the couch amid a few stray papers, and let myself sink into the deep, dark void of rest. Few hours prior. Tremere Laboratory? Aha! The steady drone of machinery blends with the aroma of ancient dust and robust alchemy, conjuring a palpable atmosphere that teases the senses. It's a relentless reminder of the raw power in action, a sensation that never leaves you, no matter how far you go. It is a common theme across Tremere Labs. Or did she add a personal twist just for my sake? Bah, that's beside the point tonight. Tonight the stakes are sky high, no room for getting sidetracked. Ashlyn Sturbridge. I'm only going to ask this once. You do understand all the specifics, correct? The procedure and the risks that come with it? My gaze drifts down to my necklace, the symbol of my cause. I nod inside an agreement. Make no mistake, should you attempt to violate our arrangement, I have my methods to track you down. Believe me, that would be far less pleasant than what's coming next. Ich überlege gerade, ob wir Raymond gerade sind. Da kommen die Fragezeichen. Let's just get it over with, shall we? I'm instantly hit with pain so intense it feels like my flesh is being torn asunder. And no matter how much I try, I can't black out for even the briefest moment of blissful reprieve. My consciousness clings on, as stubborn as I am, as if making me pay for my plentiful sins, or paving the road for the new ones to come. Oh, sorry. But the agony is worth it, and so the price that's coming after. Ich habe gerade ein Achievement bekommen. The beginning, complete the beginning chapter. Okay. And night können wir machen. Und das wäre doch ein hervorragender Schlusspunkt, oder? Für die ersten 30 Minuten heute Abend. In unserer dritten Aufnahme der Folge Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning of New York. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Ich glaube, das hier oben, nochmal um das einmal zu highlighten, ist, glaube ich, die Masquerade. Da haben wir jetzt schon Ditch reingekriegt. Und es gibt scheinbar nur 2, bevor wir, ja, verlieren wahrscheinlich. Oder 3, keine Ahnung. Das ist schon hart. Ja, mal gucken, was uns da noch erwartet. Ich hoffe, ihr seid beim nächsten Video auch wieder mit dabei, wenn es wieder heißt Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning of New York mit dem Hobbyist. Und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Bis dahin. Ciao.